Hey there, it's Julian from Gomada here, and I'm going to show you how you can use the team assessment to understand what's going on in your team and then actually improve by using activities. So let's take a look at that team assessment and the report. You can see I already added it to my timeline. I invited some team members and they've already submitted their surveys. You need at least 3 answers just to make sure the answers are still anonymous. And when the report's available, you get an email and you can also access your report right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Scoot myself over here. And let's start with the overview of your engagement scores. And the first thing I'll see is I'm on track. So my scores are from 1 to 5, and most of my scores, or all of my scores actually, are in the 4s. So that's really good. I can also see that compared to the average team on Gomada, which is this dashed line, I'm doing pretty well, with the exception of well-being, maybe. And because at Gomada we believe that relationships are really the key to a healthy team culture, all else being equal, we also provide a really detailed breakdown of your relationship scores and how you're doing in terms of relationships. And this is where we can also use activities to immediately improve and take action. So let's take a look at the relationships breakdown and see what's going on here. The overall score, 4.2, not too bad. But what we can see is that familiarity is lower than other scores, and collaboration at 4.1 also a little lower than other scores. So we might ask ourselves what's going on here. So the nice thing is we can take a look. With familiarity, again, we get a detailed breakdown of what's happening. The score is 3.9, so a little lower than the other ones. And the most interesting thing here is this team distribution chart. So you can see how different team members scored for familiarity. And you can see that this is not really a team-wide problem. It's only affecting these 2 people. One is a 3.8, so just slightly below average. And one person is a 2.1, so they're feeling quite unfamiliar with the rest of the team. You could say disconnected. And this might be a new joiner or somebody who just joined the company. And to understand a little better what might be going on with them, we can look at these survey questions and answers. And we can see how they might have answered particular questions. Like, to what extent do you feel connected with the people on your team? One person said highly unfavorable, so they don't really feel connected to the rest of the team. One person also said they really don't feel like they understand how to motivate each other, or that they can speak openly about challenges and concerns at work. So now you might be asking yourself, what can you do to fix this? And we write down some manual recommendations that you can do, but the easiest thing to do that you can do right away is let's go to our dashboard and let's add an activity for familiarity. Ideally, we want to do Work Buddy because Work Buddy really helps us understand how to better collaborate with each other and getting to know our motivators, but I've already played that activity, so it's not going to give that to me. But in this case, it's going to give me Crystal Ball because it's an activity I haven't tried yet. So let's add that to our activity journey. And let's go ahead and schedule it. And because I've already invited all my team to the team assessment, they're already in here, so I don't need to add them again. And let's maybe pick Friday at 10 a.m. And let's send out the invite. Boom. We are working on familiarity with the team, and hopefully this one person over time will feel less disconnected to the rest of us because we're actually offering them sessions to become more familiar with each other. The other one that was low was collaboration, so let's take a closer look at that. It looks like there's not really any outliers here. It's pretty evenly distributed around the 4. And it looks like efficiently collaborating is a 5 out of 6 satisfactory, so it's not great, not terrible. And communication, we have one person who didn't answer, and then also satisfactory. So let's also work on collaboration. It's not horrible, but it could definitely use some work. So let's add a collaboration exercise to our journey again. Let's go ahead and schedule it. And let's maybe pick a day, not in March, but let's pick February 24th, again at 9 a.m., same people, and we will see you there. And now you can see I have a plan. I have a report, but I also have a plan for how I'm going to get better. Obviously, one activity isn't going to fix everything, but it's going to give you a tool to slowly improve your scores. And as we're adding more activities, we're going to give you different angles to tackle the problem from. So you're not just playing a quiz style activity like guess what over and over again, but we're going to give you different perspectives to tackle familiarity problems, collaboration problems from. Now, what you can also do, because we saw that the well-being score, let's go back up here, was one of your lowest overall. It's not something you can address with Gomada. We can't be great at everything, so we're trying to be great at relationships, but we also want to give you the insights that you need to cover the other angles of engagement. So let's take a closer look at well-being and see what's going on there. And again, we look at the team distribution. It looks like 2 team members are really not feeling so well. And if we look at the questions and answers, it looks like this is a workload issue. So 2 people don't feel good about their workload. So this is really good to know, because now you can take steps to reduce their workload or find out what might be going on. So you might want to start with a conversation, figure out who might be having workload issues you might already know. You probably have a good feeling about that. And then take the next steps so they're feeling better about this. And in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you can schedule another report or assessment. Let's just go right ahead and do that. Let's say we'll schedule this for mid-March. And let's invite the same team members. Oh, hold on here. And we have our activities scheduled to improve, and we have another assessment scheduled. So when the time comes, we can see, are these things getting better that I'm working on, or are they still issues? And that way you can keep track of what's might be bugging your team, where you might be strong, and keep being strong in those areas. And then also add activities to improve what's not working so well. So that's the assessment. If you have any questions, feel free to book a demo with us or just reply to an email that we're sending out, and we'd be happy to show you more.